Hi everyone, it's Sandwichface again. Yeah, this isn't the SRB2 video you were expecting, probably. Sorry about that. That one isn't quite ready yet. It's taking longer than expected, unfortunately. Turns out I had a lot more to say on the subject than I originally thought. You'd be surprised how much there is to say on the subject of a certain blue hedgehog's double jump ability and its proposed replacement. In the meantime, here's this below-average level pack I found on the message board a while back. It's nowhere near the bottom tier quality that Giganticus was, but after checking it out and really digging into everything this pack has to offer, I think it's safe to say this is a good trash bin candidate. So let's get this dumpster dive started and get right into it. This is SRB2 New Horizon by Gust, or SRB2 New Horizoi First Anniversary Upped. Whatever, close enough I guess. Well, I guess the first thing I could talk about here is this bizarre color palette. What's up with Amy's new Hot Topic outfit? Metal Sonic's golden shoes? Or worst of all, Fang? Why is he blue? Alright, odd color choices aside, let's get down to business. First up is Act 1 of Sapphire Fall Zone, or the developer's unfinished hangout map. This is an odd design decision if I've ever seen one. I've never seen a map try to be both a hangout map and a standard co-op map before, but I do appreciate keeping netgames in mind like this. Anyway, the first thing you probably noticed is that this is an Emerald Hunt stage, but instead of talking about that now, let's keep that in mind for later. There's a lot of weird pass splits in this level, most of which take you underwater and are infinitely slower and more boring than their on-land counterparts. Additionally, there are these water geyser pillar things that you can use to gain access to higher areas. They're very janky and sometimes don't work quite right. It's a fun concept, but it leaves a lot to be desired. This level is built in this sort of non-linear fashion, which, as an Emerald Hunt stage, wouldn't be unusual. That is, until you realize this isn't actually an Emerald Hunt stage. You can just go finish it, like any other level. Yeah, this is why I told you to keep that whole Emerald Hunt thing in mind. This level is a very bizarre opening level, truth be told. It's trying to be a hangout map, an Emerald Hunt level, and a standard co-op map all at once. All I can say is, please just pick one idea and stick to it. Quality over quantity, after all. Okay, so thankfully, Act 2 starts off without an Emerald Radar. Off to a better start already. This level features these green Crawlabadniks that like to jump at you. Not too interesting on its own, but there's also this darker red Crawlabadnik armed with a machine gun. So that's two new enemies that are, quite literally, Crawlers with a new coat of paint. And that's really all there is to it, honestly. There's really not much to say about this level. So, on to Act 3, I guess. Oddly, Act 3 isn't a boss act, but there is this turret badnik in the middle of a forest, I guess. There's also what I assume is supposed to be a cloud layer of some kind, but because there's a lot of blue on this texture, it just ends up looking like a weird, translucent blanket. And look, more new crawlers. This one is black and shoots missiles. Really got those creative juices flowing when you made this, didn't you? Gotta love the kill all enemies to progress room, too. It's even got an Armageddon shield right here, because even the creator is aware that nobody likes these rooms in SRB2. Lastly, right after the enemy room is the end of the level, but the way it's built is a little weird. If you head out of this room down the hallway where you'd reasonably assume the level ends, you'll just be greeted with an extra life. So where's the goalpost? Why, it's on the other side of the hall, of course. Alright, so tell me something. If I'm entering this part of the level for the first time, and I don't know where the fuck the creator wants me to go next, I'm just gonna go where the extra life is, because that's down the hallway I can immediately see once I enter this wooden room. So why the fuck would you tuck this goalpost into this odd little corner out of the view of the player? Wouldn't it make more sense to put the goalpost where the extra life is, and vice versa? Whatever, let's just move on to the next level. Alright, it's time for, Sapphire Falls Act 4? Yep, this one decided it was so cool it just had to have 4 acts. To be honest, you could probably just cut Act 1 and make this zone 3 acts, but that's just me. Anyway, this is the zone's boss act, and the boss here is the Sea Egg. However, good lord, this is the most infuriating Sea Egg fight I think I've ever done. Due to the way this arena is built, if you manage to get hit over the water, not only do you have to fall all the way down here just to be able to get back to the arena, you also have a very slim chance of recollecting any of your lost rings, as they'll be too busy bouncing 300 feet in the air to even think about putting up with you. Yeah, this is annoying. Probably the only time I've ever died against the 2.2 version of the Sea Egg. Next zone, I'm fucking sick of this already. Here we are at Florist Dungeon Zone. Yeah, Florist. What, you've never heard of a florist before? You live under a rock or something? Stupid. Anyway, this level starts in 2D mode. Wonderful. And guess what? You also have to destroy these 2 crawlers before you can even get past this door. What's even the point of this? It adds literally nothing to the level. You could just remove this door and not a single damn thing about this level would change. Alright, so you get over here and cross over this gap, only to find a dead end with an extra life. So where the hell do you go then? Why, you jump right down into this pit, of course. I'm sorry, but who on earth is going to know to do this? Anyone who's ever played a platform before knows that if you see platforms over a very large pit, chances are you want to avoid falling into that pit, not run into it balls first like a horde of lemmings. There's also this bizarre crusher section. Don't worry about going fast here, you can just wait for the crushers to go back by waiting on the edge here, by staying on nothing. This level ends with you taking this hypersonic grass elevator to the sky. I don't know anymore, let's just move on. Act 2 opens with the camera having a fucking stroke, after which you then proceed to this door that just won't open. So now where do you go? Why, right behind where you started, of course, because there's a button there. Again, what's the point of this? Removing the short, unnecessary obstacle at the start would change literally nothing about the level. There's this oddly large and lengthy cruster section here, which actually, now that I think about it, this one isn't oddly obsessed with crushing hazards. Act 1 had several I didn't talk about because they seemed rather standard and uninteresting, but now there's this and the oddly futuristic blue crushers before this. So wouldn't a better title for this zone be Crusher Dungeon Zone? I digress, but after you get through that section, you find yourself up against this cannonball bullet hell hallway, which leads you to this very oddly positioned swinging chain. Going in here and pressing this button lowers this comically oversized door that leads into the next section. Anyway, this next stream is great because you literally can't see shit in here. Although that doesn't really matter because all you need to do in here is press this button to lower this acid. And then, finally, after doing all that, you're rewarded with a fucking maze. Not just a maze, but a really cramped dark maze. Beautiful. Thankfully, the creator left some arrows on the ground, although they're placed in such a way where they really don't help you at all. In fact, it's easier to just ignore them and thok your way to the end. And if you thought a tiny-ass maze was bad enough, you can also take the completely wrong turn here and get sent all the way back to the beginning, as a tiny-ass Sonic. Fucking incredible. After that, you're shown this purple wall opening up, but you don't really have time to process just where the fuck it actually is. Remember that dark room from earlier? Yeah, that's where the door is. Thankfully, it's also where the level ends. That was an ordeal. On to the next act. Unlike Sapphire Falls, Florist Dungeon decided it wasn't cool enough for an extra act, so the boss is in Act 3 like it normally should. And god fucking damn it, it's the Egg Coliseum. Fuck me sideways. And my god, this is everything wrong with the Vanilla Egg Coliseum fight, cranked up to 11. You have absolutely no room to avoid the spike falls in this tiny-ass arena built for ants, so they're even more of a nuisance here than they are in Castle Eggman Act 3. Secondly, even when you hit this blue button to open up the cage, if we can even call this a cage, you only have a split second to actually hit the boss. So if you touch even a pixel of the cage when you're trying to hit the boss, you're probably getting crushed. Finally, if you're playing as Sonic alone, don't jump into this whole Eggman moves in the cage when the pinch phase starts. Next level, please. I hate this boss so much. Just kidding, you're not done yet. You also have to fight Metal Sonic now. Except, don't worry, it's not as much as a pain in the ass as the Egg Coliseum fight is. This Metal Sonic fight's actually pretty easy, because they give you this really big, bland arena to fight him in, so dodging his attacks is really easy. So once you save Dammy, you're free to walk out and finally finish this long-ass boss stage. God damn, that was a gauntlet. Okay, it's time for Zone 3, Frosted Hillside Zone. Not to be confused with Frozen Hillside Zone from the base game. This one is different because it starts in a cave, and it's an Emerald Hunt level, because of course it is. Anyway, the first section of this level operates on the final demo Castle Eggman Act 2 logic of go find the buttons and open the doors. Although unlike that level, you can't just hit the buttons in any order you want. Instead, you have to hit them in a very specific and somewhat hard to follow order that most of the time will leave you going, wait, where's the next one? After you open the last door, you're brought to this maze-like blue cavern. Only after you've passed through this cave can you start searching for the emeralds. If you somehow fall into this ice prison here on your way through, don't worry, you aren't trapped. You can spin dash through these bars to bust through them, but who's gonna know to do this? There's nothing indicating that you can destroy these bars, so some might assume they're trapped here and restart the level. Hell, you can spin dash through most of these bars, so why not use a bustable wall texture so people know they can bust through them? This emerald here might especially confuse people who don't know these bars are buffable, and they might just assume it's unreachable, and the emerald placement is just some kind of level design oversight. And that's not all. While these fence gates could cause a soft lock if you're not aware that you can break them, here's an actual soft lock right here. Nice fucking elevator, asshole. Anyway, time for Act 2? Yeah, this level pack isn't finished. So I guess it was a good thing I played it now and my critique might still matter? Overall, I can't say there's much to this level pack I enjoyed. Yeah, there's some interesting ideas here and there alongside a very unique style level design. Although the incredibly poor boss design, confusing level progression, and overall amateurish feel of the pack is dragging it down a lot. Although, with the pack still being a work in progress, we can only hope the final product addresses these issues and allows something much better to form from this framework. That's all I've got for today, so like, subscribe, yada yada yada, see you soon with more SRB2 hopefully. Bye!